maybe we have new participants over the internet. So as all of you are aware, this is a specific and special majlis, and really only for those who have been given permission to actually attend. For those who haven't or are not familiar with this really isn't for them as such. So they can obviously, if they are here, they can just sit and observe, but really it is specifically for people who actually have sat in a retreat and have actually been given a permission. So the format of the majlis is that, inshallah, our Honorable Ustad will begin the majlis with helping us to perform the protection amals and then the askars for the beginning, and then we'll all be individually given about 10 to 15 minutes, or as they see fit, for the cleansing of the lataif, which all of you should be familiar with, and those on the internet, obviously they have their books as well, which they could have familiarized by now. And then after they actually do the cleansing of the lataifs, namely firstly the preparation of the white latifa, imagining the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a white color descending from the top of the head into the body as we breathe in, and as we breathe out, then imagining that all our worries and our problems and the darkness of sin is actually exiting from the mouth. And then inshallah the process of the cleansing the lataifs itself, beginning with the red, so the imagination of the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a red color. As we breathe in, long deep breaths, direct the nur, the light, to the red latifa, which is situated below the navel. And as we breathe out, then imagine that this latifa is being cleansed and the darkness is exiting from behind the latifa. And then similarly with all the others, so the orange in the same color, the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be in orange color, directing the light to the orange latifa in the belly button area, then the yellow in the same way into the stomach area, and then the green into the chest area, and then the light blue into the throat area. The only difference here now, when we get to the dark blue, as we breathe in, we'll imagine that the light is going directly into the dark blue latifa, which is situated in the forehead. And then similarly with the white as well, the nur actually going directly into the white latifa. And then, as we did, similar to the preparation, again imagining the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a white color, and as we breathe in, it's entering the light from the top of the head and filling our body like a balloon, and also have that same effect when a balloon is actually filled with air, so you feel lighter. So with every breath you'll be feeling lighter and the body will disappear, and then one at a time the lataif will disappear, and then you'll do your golden breath and then transfer into your spiritual body, and most importantly to find our blessed teacher, Hazrat Shaykh Ahmad Dabbar, and then with their permission travel the rest of the journey. And our Ustad might indicate if we need to try to go to any specific places, or and wherever one can, if they have the ability to do so, gain the seer from the blessed personalities that they are blessed to be accompanied with. And inshallah, most importantly after that is then to give your feedback. So if there's anything that needs correcting, any nasir that needs to be shared, this is the time that whoever is actually passed the mic to, they really shouldn't say no. They should just mention whatever level of experience they had, any difficulties they had, and then these things can be rectified, inshallah. Jazakallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله الصمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أستغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه. أستغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه. أستغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه. اللهم يا ربي بجاه نور وجهك الكريم وبفضلك العظيم اجمع بيننا وبينك في الدنيا قبل الآخرة. اللهم يا ربي بجاه سيدنا محمد ابن عبد الله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وسلم اجمع بيننا وبين سيدنا محمد ابن عبد الله في الدنيا قبل الآخرة. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. محمد رسول الله. محمد رسول الله. محمد رسول الله. يا أيتها النفس المطمئنة ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية. ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية فادخلي في عبادي وادخلي جنتي.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Mention who you are and where you're from, and then share with us.
My name is Sadiq from Oldham. Alhamdulillah, during the Lataif, although I'm imagining the Lataif different colors, but I can't see the colors. We're still carrying on. I think I took a lot of time today, and then when I met Huzza in the masjid here, and then we went to the Mazar of Sayyidina Abdul Aziz Dabbar Rahmatullah Alayhi. Other brothers were there as well, and when we went inside, they asked me to give salam, and I was giving salam and asking for forgiveness for shortcomings, and then during there, I think that's when he started reciting salam again, and then I just finished there.
When you say you couldn't see the colors at the beginning, sorry, I think Siri's playing up here. I think this is what Siri was saying. He didn't get that. Can you say that again? Even Siri is listening to your feedback. When you say you didn't see the colors, and then this is, it can be a bit confusing for especially participants and so on. And then you're saying that you were seeing Hazrat Sahib, then you saw that you were in the mazar. So, what level, what stage you're saying that when you're not seeing the color? If I say to you, can you see the color red? Can you see it? Yeah. So what I want to do today, I want to break everybody's notion, this thing, because I think a lot of the times, not just yourself but others, is that people are expecting this HD 4K quality of vision. This is what you're all expecting, is a 4K quality of vision, and it should be super clear, super dark and everything, and so on. So how long did it take for us to get to 4K quality TV? It took many years, didn't it? Sometimes, if those people, like some of us are from the 50s and some of us are from the 70s, we had black and white, so some people will see it black and white. Because what? The signal, there's nothing, the signal is still being sent. Broadcast of signals and then receiver. So the receiver, broadcast has been changed, and they broadcast in color. So then we were able to see color. And the receiver, if you've got a black and white TV still, you see black and white even though it's been sent in color. And then some people advance from black and white TV to color TV, and then say, Subhanallah, this is so nice, it's got color now. And then from that, then we got plasma TV, from normal to plasma to even sharper color. From plasma to then we got LED, and then we got HD, and then we had 4K, 2HD, then 4K, now they have even 8K and so on. Broadcasting signal has been increased. Now if you can be broadcasting 4K, but if you only have still a black and white TV, you see black and white. Isn't it? You see black and white. So what I'm trying to say here is that a lot of us have built that perception in our head, how the vision should look, how the experience should be. And what we say is, empty all of that. Empty your mindset, empty your thoughts, empty whatever you think what the vision is, and start following what we've been saying is, for example, you have the faculty to, for example, whenever somebody says, I cannot see the name of Allah, I cannot see the colors, I say, honestly, you can't. Why? Everybody can see, here's the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with the power of imagination, see, because we say these experiences are 3 levels: imagination, thought, imagination, and then spiritual. Now what's happening is, it's just like those signals, we increase the signal strength. So sometimes you're using the signal of what your receiver is, what, and you're seeing the box like the black and white TV. I'm with my imagination, I'm with my thought level. From the thought, now I'm my imagination level, I'm seeing a little bit of color. And then what happens, the power increases, intensifies, you upgrade your receiver, but through the course of purification, you're upgrading it, and then the signals come through, you then start to see, alhamdulillah. But it happens, for example, then you're saying is that I saw that I'm in the mazar. I then saw that I am with Sayyidina Abu Bakr and give the salam, my weaknesses and so on. Why? Is because the signal changed. You're not fighting. Are you understanding? You're not fighting your thoughts. You're not fighting thinking. You're letting it flow. So what happens is sometimes is when you then fight it, I should be seeing this color. I should be seeing it like this. It should be like this. You are blocking yourself. You yourself are blocking it. So eradicate it. Leave it. Sometimes your signal strength will be such because of the zulmah that you perform. The people, for example, even your work colleagues will affect you spiritually. The zulmat which is there, don't underestimate the power of the zulmat which is surrounding you. I mean that your barometer, spiritual barometer strength is so sensitive. It's so sensitive that whatever darkness, zulmat there is, if you've been doing the course of tazkiyah, like once Shaykh Ahmadullah, what they said, our master, they said that when a person does tazkiyah, more or less is going through the course of purification, the first stage, the second stage, what happens is that his spirit becomes like a mirror, a reflection. It absorbs everything. Like a sponge, it absorbs. So that's why a lot of now what I will say may make sense to you is that, for example, you know you feel lazy, but if you go to the gathering, when you start doing praying, it's not difficult. You feel good. Go to the gathering, you feel good. When you're praying, you feel good. If you're with good people, where's the laziness? It's not there. You went on Jamaat, you feel brilliant. You feel great. Why? Good sober, good company. Your spirit is absorbing that goodness. What happens then is that when the spirit is pure as well, I mean that to certain tazkiyah is happening. When that spirit will then, for example, will go to a club and hang around with people, dunya with people, it will also absorb that. The darkness which is there from those people, it will absorb it as well. And then what happens is that you feel down. You struggle to get up for Fajr. You struggle to actually concentrate. You feel demotivated. Sometimes even your purpose and your maqsad, your mindset start changing because of the sohbat of these people. So do not underestimate the effect that these things have. And hence why, now what happens is that when you start doing the dhikr, those effects start being removed. When you do wudu, when you do tawbah, when you do other aspects, these minor dhulmat actually gets removed. But when you come to the gathering, for example, some of you might have come directly from work and you're expecting 4K quality of vision, but you've been, for example, you've had to liaise with kuffars, you've had to liaise with sinful people, you had to liaise with obscene things, you had to go to places where there's darkness. You're carrying that with you coming here. So then what happens is that it's just like, for example, the mirror, when you're driving and you're trying to see, or when you want to watch the TV, you haven't wiped it for like 3-4 months. There's some blobs there, there's some dust there, and you can't see it properly. So you need to start cleaning a little bit. And that's why we'll do the Ladai process of cleansing. Sometimes as you're doing it, you're not going to see it because why? Of that issue, of that problem. I'm not saying everybody's going to like this, but so what we're doing is that we block ourselves by having the perception the vision should look like this. This should be a vision. It should be like, for example, as we're here now, it should be like this. What are you using for what you're seeing, your senses? This is haqiqat in terms of, we said, for example, ainul yaqin, haqq yaqin. And so the haqq yaqin and even higher levels of haqq yaqin, this is the highest level of yaqin because why? You can feel, you can touch, you can see, you can hear everything. That's another level. That's when we don't tazkiyah and we get higher and higher. We'll get to that level eventually, inshallah, one day. But now we're at the minor stages, but we're thinking, I don't really know. I think I was just thinking everything. Don't really know. I'm just confusing myself. That's what I'm doing. That's what we're doing. And then we're just self-interpreting. No, that wasn't anything. I didn't experience anything. It's all this and that. And that's what you're going to hear. So stop being analyzing. And second is that stop putting projection of what things are. Just follow what you've been told. Follow those methods that we've said. And inshallah Aziz, like you're saying that then what happened after I didn't see any lights, you've gone to transfer and alhamdulillah you're meeting the Mashayikhs. So if you didn't see any light, alhamdulillah, don't worry. We didn't say the maqsad isn't seeing the light, is it? Did we say the purpose is to see the light? No, it wasn't. It's just, for example, for example, I forgot that I didn't know I turned the engine on, but I'm driving. Does anybody actually bother to think, wait a minute, how did I put the key in the car? I put it in did I put it at an angle? Did I put it right? Then did I put it anti-clockwise or clockwise? And did the car go broom? Yes, it did. No, it didn't. Did I put the accelerator? No. But you're driving. If you're driving, then what are you worried for? As long as you know how to drive, and as long as you know where to stop, and as long as you know how to come back, reverse, alhamdulillah, who pays attention? Now people don't even pay attention to looking. Obviously, if you did look at the gear stick, then you might have an accident, so don't do that. But you change the gears, manual gears, changing first, second, third, fourth, without realizing. So what we're doing is that we're looking at those things where, don't worry about it, just forget that. And then the maqsad is that having that presence, interacting, and then seeing, that is the greatest thing you can do to meet. For us as seekers, is that even if you don't see heaven, even if you don't see anything, but if you see your master, you have achieved everything. If you see your master, you're seeing everything. What do I mean by the why? It was sad is that the companions, when they saw the Prophet, why they're known as Sahaba is because they said that the blessed eye of the Prophet is so pure and so truthful. Whatever he has seen is better than our seeing, our vision, and we bring faith on that. We believe upon. That's what they're able to submit. Say, Rasul has seen it. He has seen Jannat. He has seen Jahannam. We believe upon that. And what we say is that if our master has seen the Prophet ﷺ, his eyes are purer than this. We have seen everything. We don't need anything. Our master, if they've seen the one that they've seen the Prophet ﷺ, for us now that if we see our master, our guide, alhamdulillah, we have seen everything. Because they have seen it. Are they not purer than us? Of course they are. So for us, our climax is that if we are able to see our master, our teacher, our guide, sufficient. Really, you don't need anything. But as a training and as to motivate you, to encourage you, we are told to then experience that what they're trying to make you independent so that you can traverse yourself. You don't need to be like babies, come on, let's go here, that you can then slowly, inshallah, one day be able to traverse with the affairs of the Mashayikhs, go on places and then go beyond different realms and experience yourself. That's the main thing. So don't be a blockage yourself. Listen to me carefully. Don't be a blockage yourself. Don't try to put preperceived ideas of what vision is, what the experience should be, etc., etc. This preperceived ideas and thoughts will become a blockage. So eradicate it. Forget it. Just relate as you see it. And just follow as you've been told, and you'll be fine, inshallah. Okay. Take it. Everybody's hiding today. I don't know why. Why is everybody hiding today? Brother Yahya will relate, inshallah. We'll take some.
Actually, I fell asleep and couldn't concentrate at all. Okay. I heard bits of here and there, but nothing much really.
That's fine, inshallah, that's good. If you fall asleep, it doesn't mean that you escaped from actually by saying this and I fall asleep and you can escape from it. It's a message given to you that you should really, on a serious note, is that try your best to make sure you have sufficient rest the day before so that you are fully optimum for this gathering. Monday gathering is for us, but mainly for to bring other people, new brothers in, people who are our neighbors, our friends, our relatives, to bring them to the Monday gathering. Okay, this gathering is really for us, for ourselves. So it is our nourishment time. It's our time. You know, many people, they want to save the world, save their brothers, save the ummah. They forget about themselves. And the very first principle of Islam of Deen is Aku anfusukum, is save yourself first. This is for us. So if this is for us, what the adab and etiquette is that try and make sure that you're ready. Try to, like Dr. Shah Alam, he also mentioned sometimes as well, is that in these 24 hours, try to make sure you minimize. Maybe you got adat of doing certain sins, minimize it. Your dramas, your YouTubes, your killer movies, your songs, your going out, your everything, whatever it is, minimize it for this day at least. Try to actually minimize as much as possible, if not try to refrain from it. So at least come this night becomes Barkat al-Irat, it becomes a very blessed night, and then hopefully that will then help. If you're working, try to actually plan in such a way that you get, maybe come a little bit early if you can from work, have a bit of a rest. So that if you can't, that's a different matter. But if you can, I'm saying that try to actually have a bit of rest and so on, so that you're actually fully functioning at that time. Even if you need extra, for example, you come, you know you're going to be tired, have some coffee, have some tea, whatever, just to make sure that you're a little bit alert and you can last, your body can last that bit of the majlis. So if you basically is that the more importance and significance you'll give, likewise you'll also inshallah receive in that manner as well. And it can happen normally, you can be tired and you do doze off, and that's natural and that's fine as well, inshallah. But try your best to make sure you're at your optimum when you come to the gathering. That goes to also media people as well, inshallah. Brother Wasim, which relate. Brother Wasim, mashallah, he's been waiting for 2 weeks to relate. So
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. During the Amals, it felt like there was a strong presence of Hazrat Sahab, and it felt like they were actually doing the Amals and the short zikr that you did. Then after the Lataifs and transfer, I couldn't see him clearly, but it felt like they were in Morocco, in Fez, outside the Mazar of Sayyidina Abdul Aziz the Rahmatullah alayhi. And it felt like they had the olive green chadar and the creamy white Imam Sharif on. We stayed there for a while, and straight away it felt like we went to Medina Sharif outside the courtyard, and we just stayed there for a while, and we just did the MURAQBA dua there, and then just stayed there until we finished.
MashaAllah, that's good, MashaAllah. Just carry on with that man, inshallah, Aziz, and hopefully Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it even more clearer for you. And the Lataif colors, etc., they were fine as well, or you didn't see any colors at the time? I mean that in terms of when you last time you were saying there was no.
I couldn't actually concentrate much on the colors, because it felt like Hazrat Sahab was in front of me. I was focusing more on them, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
Take inshallah. Yes, brother. Amar. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaykum assalam.
After I transferred, I found the blessed teacher, and they gave me a green chadar which they asked me to wrap around my head, and then I was made into like Imam Sharif. And from there then we went to the Bazaar of Sayyidina Abdul Aziz at the Rahmatullah alayhi, went inside and then gave a salam to them, and then from there the scene changed again, and it was as if me and Hazrat Sahab were in the state of Ihram, and we were performing Tawaf. We were performing Tawaf, and then we went towards the blessed Kaaba Sharif, the doors of the Kaaba Sharif, and when we got there, we like had our hands in the touching the Kaaba Sharif, the doors, and Hazrat Sahab said to perform MURAQBA dua. So once I did that, and then afterwards, then I imagined myself, I was at the grave of my grandfather, and I met them, and they were happy to see me, and I was happy to see them. And then obviously that happiness turned to sadness. They weren't happy with obviously the state of the family, and then they also said, as far as I can remember, that to call certain members of the family to the majalis and get them to come. Your job is to invite them. Whether they come or not is irrelevant. And after that, we went to Medina Sharif and gave salam to the Prophet ﷺ. And then after that, I imagined Hazrat Sahib were wearing the light grey Jubba Sharif, and they said to me, why have you not worn the Jubba that I gave you? And then that was it.
MashaAllah. Then some bits of more or less self-explanatory. The first part, the indication, the amama, is indeed, I think you should see somebody regarding the course of purification, in particular certain stage that you need to actually maybe focus on, and hopefully then that will help you a lot more. And then with regards to obviously the journey and seeing your grandfather, it is true the case that when a person obviously then passes away, it's a great opportunity to meet them, obviously, but sadness for the person who's in the other world, and he can see how the family members, the consequences of one's action, he can see with their own eyes. They can see it now. And obviously because of the love that the beloved people had, that's why they have that concern still, even though they're gone, and they're upset because they want their descendants to also benefit. They want the offsprings to benefit from the teaching, from the cause, from Rasulullah, from the Mashayikhs, so that they can actually then also be in happiness and bliss as well. So obviously this is the sadness, because there's only two options. Either it's going to be a pitfall or a fire, garden of bliss. There's no other option, heaven or hell. There's no really other option for us. So the concern is, the current concern is that we have to do our bit, because if a person is awake, the other person is asleep, then the person who's awake has more responsibility to try to make the other person awake and realize this haqiqat and reality. And so do your best. Now sometimes what happens is that when we hear this, we then go full force dawah mission and dawah machine. Is that brother, and then full force, come to the gathering, do this and do that, etc., etc. The best dawah that we can do as individuals is dawah of action and character and conduct. Is that is sometimes people want instant results and instant comings and instant thinking. But really maybe the dawah would be best dawah for you. For example, if your siblings, one of your brothers or your sisters, they needed just to hear you, for you to hear them, their concerns and worries, and you lend them an ear. Just not doing anything. They're not asking for money. They're not asking for any help, and just want to hear their concerns and worries, or just come and see them, or just have a chat with them. Sometimes those actions give more weight than you telling them, come to the gathering. Come meet us up. Why not coming? Look at this center. It's our center. You should be coming here and actually blessing it, or bless yourself and children. They might not listen, but if you use things where other worldly things in which they need you, or they need your assistance, or you're cultivating that closeness and bond and that friendship with them, then when you say, listen, I'm going there, you're going to come, without saying them, come, but do you want to come? First they might say, no, I'm a bit busy. Then they might say, okay, let's go, might as well go. So you have to use wisdom in certain circumstances and develop that relationship if the relationship is not there. They may know. Without undoubted, they'll know Hazrat Sahib, they'll know the teaching, they'll know yourself, your father, and others are benefiting as well. But sometimes it's just a case of no matter how much you say to certain individuals, they have to do it themselves. And all you got to do is try to remove those obstacles which is hindering them from coming here. That's what you got to do sometimes, and then they will realize themselves, and then wo khud aayenge. You don't need to worry about it. The third aspect, when you saw them telling you about the jubba that they gave you and why not wearing it, its indication is, yes, one is that twofold. The indication you're getting is that you should, if somebody has given you something a way of showing appreciation and thankfulness and also blessing, so you should wear it. Show it and manifest it. Thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by wearing it and blessing your body, blessing your spirit with that barakah of that thing that they're giving you, the gift that they gave. Another thing is that when you get given gifts and blessings like the Mama Sharif and these things that you're saying, it comes responsibility as well. Is that, in other words, they're saying is that I've given you this, wear it, but you are not responding the way I want you to respond. Now your responsibilities increase, you need to up the level as well. You need to start conveying the message as well. Not just to yourself, but others as well. You need to up the ante, as they say in our term, is that you need to take that responsibility and that burden, wear that responsibility. Don't just think as though, I'm just doing the courses, okay, and there's the job, but there's the responsibility, it just stays in the wardrobe. It's for other people. No, you need to wear that responsibility and carry that message forward as well, and be part of that, carrying that burden. So when you put the jubbah on, who's carrying it? It's you. You're sharing that responsibility of carrying that message as well. So one is that physically bless yourself and showing appreciation. In other words, another indication that you're getting from this is that you need to start actually showing responsibility as well. Take that responsibility of the blessing that you've been given and convey that to others as well. You need to up the ante as well a bit more. So we'll take, if there's one eagerly person who wants to actually say, we'll take one more of those. Sorry. If you indicate to other people, I'll choose you. You shouldn't do that with the Shabir. Yes. Brother Siraj, sorry, Brother, no, we'll go to Siraj. Go on, Siraj. So were you on time, Siraj, or were you a bit? Did you manage to catch?
Started on time, just because the working day didn't really focus as well. I was in and out of sleep, so the most that I've seen.
You see, what happens is that when one person starts, then everybody else follows suit. I call it the yawning method. The transmission of yawn. When one person yawns, everybody else follows suit as well. So one person said, I fell asleep, now the other person goes, that's my way out of actually getting up for saying it. I also fell asleep as well, it's not cutting it. So go on.
But I did have a glimpse of the Mazar of Sheikh Abdul Aziz Tabad. So when that happened, I focused my attention there, and so it was a bit blurry, and that's all I can really remember, to be honest.
Inshallah, this is what I said before about preparation, that applies here as well. And basically making sure that you take due diligence in terms of preparing, and also try to make sure that you try to be as focused as you can and enough rest when you actually come to this gathering, inshallah. Is there anybody else that'd like to ask any questions or issues or problems they've had? Are they related to any issues or problems? Okay. MashaAllah, the younger brothers from Nelson, who you do put it on the channel. It's not that we ignore them. No, it's self-explanatory sometimes. That's why there's no need for us to actually expand upon whatever you say. The visions relate. So if you do put it, if it's not mentioned, if you don't reply, take it as most of the times. MashaAllah, Allah bless you and Allah reward you even further. Is that take that message, try to act upon it so much as you can, but always keep on relating. Don't get thinking that, oh, we're not saying, we are saying it. Sometimes it's more or less explanatory. You don't need an interpretation that is clear. So I hope Allah doesn't put this heart in your heart in any way. So it has been. This is one of the etiquettes as well. Sometimes that when it's unless there is something dire, important, emergency that Mashaz, what they say, that there is something that we need to actually say, oh, it's fine, just carry on, inshallah. Just carry on with your amals, carry on with the kid, don't worry about it. If there's anything that we need to say, oh, hang on a minute, something here we need to actually address, we'll address. So don't you both self get worried or anything like that. We are reading it, it's fine, inshallah. You just carry on and keep on doing the work and keep on developing yourself even further and keep yourself even more blessed in the blessed companies. ठीक है इंशाल्लाह जज़ाकल्लाहु अहसन जज़ा सुब्हानक अल्लाहुम्मा व बिहम्दिक अशहदु अन ला इलाहा इल्ला अंता अस्तगफिरुका व अतूबु इलैक